This video is sponsored by Bootstrap Farmer. I have been a gardener for almost 20 years, and during that time I have experimented with a lot of things. I have fallen in love with many plants, and I have decided that some things are just not for me. And it wasn't until recently, until about 6 years ago or so, that I started to grow plants from seed. Not every single plant, but majority of the plants that I grow in my garden, I start from seed, and I have fallen in love with just how easy and convenient and money saving, not really time saving, but I have fallen in love with just starting from seed. And one of the main things 6 years ago when I was deciding the setup, the lights, the location, the trays, one of the main decisions that I have to do was deciding what kind of soil I was going to use to start my seeds. And like many people recommend, you want to use a fluffy, nice texture seed starting mix. Well, that's what I did 6 years ago. And the main reason that I started using Burpees organic seed starting mix was because that's what I found at Menards. I love Menards. If you have been in this channel, you know that I have a lot of things from Menards, and when I went looking for seed starting supplies there, they had Burpees organic seed starting mix and potting mix as well. So that's what I used. I brought it home and I fell in love with the quality, with the fluffiness, the texture. It seemed a very nice medium for me to grow the seeds, for the seeds not to have any trouble germinating, and I had really good results. And the more that I tried growing seeds, the more I learned that I really didn't had a huge difference from starting seed starting mix from the beginning. So I started to jump straight into using potting mix, and again I used Burpees potting mix because that's what I had. It was really easy for me just to go to Menards and grab a few bags if I needed them, and it was no big deal. That was one of the easiest decisions for me to make. However, a couple of years ago, Menards decided to stop selling Burpees products. I don't know why. So I had to start ordering from Amazon. Again, that wasn't a huge deal. It was just a little bit more preparation on my end. Well, I never really had any trouble. Like I said, I had good results from the seedlings that I grow. They're amazing, they look amazing. But lately I have been thinking, what if I can get better results? And some of you watching this video might be thinking, hey, I don't care what kind of seed starting mix or potting mix I use. As long as my seeds germinate, that's really all I care. And that's completely fine. That's completely acceptable. But there are other people like myself that think, hey, I'm already spending the money, I'm already spending the time in growing the suckers here for a bunch of weeks, watering, tending to them, making sure they're close to the light. So I do want to try to get the best medium possible to grow them, to see if I can get better results. So that's pretty much what this video is going to be about. I am going to try 3 other potting mixes, and I say that in quotes because you'll see why here in a minute. But I was going to do this test anyway. Right now that I don't have any seeds growing, it's a good time for me to test how well, how different, how good or bad the potting mixes that I'm thinking about switching to do. And I'm going to show you the results, and I think that you're going to be surprised a little bit. I am going to do a total of 4 mixes. One is going to be the one that I already use, the one that I am very comfortable using. And the other 3 are just companies that I see other YouTubers, other people that grow seeds indoors try. And that's what I want to compare, because I really do want to make sure that I use, like I said, the best medium possible. So here are the ones that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be Burpees Organic Potting Mix. That's the one that I have been using for the last 5 years. I am going to use Old Potter's Mix. And this one, I don't know why I just got the bag. They didn't send any tags or any logos or anything. So I'm going to try to take a screenshot of how it looks like. I got all of these from Amazon. The next one that I try is 4Bs. This is highly recommended by a couple of people. And because I'm also going to be doing some soil blacking, this one is just perfect. I'm going to use it anyway. And the last one is Gardener's Seed Starting Mix. And this is exclusive to gardeners. Again, some of these are just the most popular ones that I see out there. I didn't do anything special for the mixes. I didn't sift them. I didn't do anything special other than adding a little bit of water, because as you know, I don't like to use mixes dry. I like to get them moist, not soaking wet, but just moist so that they're not, all of the particles are not flowing around. Now let's start with Burpees. The reason why I love this mix, like I said, is because it's very fluffy. It is really lightweight, and obviously the seeds are going to do amazing here. Or at least that's the hope. On the Burpees website, it says that it is formulated with plant food and coconut coir to promote seed and root growth and healthy flower, vegetable, and herbs. It is listed for organic use and it does contain plant food, which releases for the following 3 months. One bag, it has the volume of 9 quarts, and I paid $13 delivery to my home. All powders, like I said, it didn't really come with any tax, any information. I don't know if this is how they sell it. Maybe it's just, in order to save money. I don't really know. But looking at old powders when I took it out of the bags, and again, this is new one for me, it's really fluffy. It is very, very similar to Burpees. And so far, I like what I'm looking at. On the description of the product that I got from Amazon, it says it contains 70 to 80% Canadian peat moss. It contains horticultural perlite and rich humus, which ensures your plants have the perfect environment for growth. Again, this is just reading from the website, from the description. Calcitic and dolomitic limestone. I am actually not sure how to say this, but I am sure all of these help with promoting plant growth. You will be the judge of that. And one of the things that I wanted to mention for this product is that it says that the soil is pre-moist, meaning it's ready to use with less hassle. I honestly did not find it to be wet or moist. I found it to be just like what Burpees is. So I don't know. But I wanted to mention that because I am going to show you something that I am noticing on that particular soil here in a minute. The bag that I purchased was 24 quarts and it was $30 delivered. Now, 4Bs is not new. If you follow a lot of YouTubers, you probably have seen somebody using these guys, especially for soil blocking. On their website, it says that this is a great choice for gardeners who prefer a compost-based germination and growing medium. And when I took this guy out of the bag, you guys, this is probably the richest, most beautiful dark chocolate soil that I have seen. It doesn't really compare to the lighter brown color of Burpees or Old Potter's one. But it also has chunks of other things. Now, as I was taking this out of the bag, I noticed some little pieces, shiny pieces of what it looked like to be metal. And I wanted to mention this because on Amazon, when I purchased this bag, I noticed a couple of the reviews said that they found metal, that I found chunks of little tinfoil pieces in their containers. And I do want to say it's not metal, it is a vermiculite. I contacted 2 people that use this for their flower farms, and they use this and they say, yes, that's vermiculite. But I also contacted the company and said, hey, I think I have some pieces of metal in my bag. Like, what happened? And they say, that's not metal, that's vermiculite. That's what happens when vermiculite gets exposed to heat. I'm going to show you a picture here of what I am used to looking when I look at vermiculite and other ways that you find your vermiculite in your potting mix. This bag is blended from composted manure and plant materials, blonde horticulture grade sphagnum peat moss, so it does have peat moss, crushed and screened granite and basalt, blood meal, kelp meal, steam bone meal, gypsum, vermiculite, and it also has coconut coir. So it is a mix of a lot of stuff. And honestly, I am leaning towards this one, and you'll see the results here in a minute. I got 20 quarts in a bag for $37 delivered to my home. And the last one is Gardener's Seed Starting Mix. And this one is exclusive for seed starting mix from Gardeners. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, you're comparing potting mixes and now you are throwing in a seed starting mix. Yes, but this seed starting mix from Gardeners has something that they call Super Root Booster, which is a fancy way to say that they added extra. It's not just a seed starting mix with nothing in it, but it has a little bit extra. So that's why I wanted to throw this in there. Now, it says on their website that this seed starting mix ensures healthy growth and robust seedlings with their special Mixed Miracle Plant Food Enhancer, which is the Super Root Booster, which helps with nutrient and water uptake. And they explained that the secret for this mix is the mycorrhizae, I don't know how to say that, which has amazing microbes that form a partnership with roots to support vigorous and resilient plant growth. Now this mix, this whole seed starting mix, it is made of a combination of Canadian peat moss, perlite, limestone, wetting agent, and mycorrhizae. So it is definitely closer to a potting mix that uses a simple general seed starting mix. For the bag of 9 quarts, I paid $16. Now I did break it down, and depending on when you're watching this video, some of these may be on sale, some of these may have a better deal if you buy them in bulk. But here's the breakdown of how much a quart of each of these bags will cost you if you buy them at these prices. Now, again, you have to make your own decision on which one works better for you, but let me show you what I did and how I tested this. Again, other than adding water to the mixes to make sure that they were semi-wet, I didn't do anything else. I use a tray, one of these shallow trays from Bootstrap Farmer, and I use these 5x5 containers. I use 4 different colors, 1 color for each product, just so that, you know, it will help me to keep track of them. The 5x5 shallow trays that I use for starting the seeds do have holes in them, and basically I just place them in this 10x20 tray. The only reason why I did that was that could bottom water. Now, if you're wondering where I got these lovely red trays, which are probably my favorite color so far for trays, 10x20 trays, I got these from Bootstrap Farmer, and they are the ones sponsoring this video. If you have been here for the last 6 years, you know that I started buying products from Bootstrap Farmer from the very beginning. There is really no comparison from the products that you get from Bootstrap to the flimsy ones, very cheap quality that you get at the store. And this color right here, this red color, is one of their limited edition colors that they have new for this year. And you can get them in a set of 5, 10, or 30 trays in a multicolor of these colors that they have. Again, this is just a limited edition. Or you can do what I did and get just one of your favorite of those colors and get a set. I think I might just grab a few more in this color. But one of the cool things that they're doing with this limited edition is that when you make a purchase for this specifically collection, Bootstrap donates 10% of the sales to go directly to the Farmer Veteran Coalition's fellowship funds, which helps support veterans in agriculture. If you're watching this video and if you want to check if they still have this available, you like this color, this is the time to grab them. I decided to use 2 types of seeds. I decided to use sunflowers. I purchased 2 of these packets to make sure that I had enough for all 4 containers. And I also got a set of these celosia seeds, and this is the 1 packet. So if I had bad germination, they're all going to do bad. If I have great germination, hopefully all of them do well. So 1 set of these 5x5 trays has a bunch of sunflowers, and the other set has celosia seeds. I tried to use a lot of seeds because I wanted to see how well they're germinated. If one of the mixes was not that great for germinating, I wanted to be able to see that. I didn't just want to try 1 or 2 seeds. And when I'm covering all of these seeds, I make sure that I grab the right product, the right bag for each of these sets. And I put a dome and they went under my lights. Now, the only reason why I have these lights on here is because I wanted to make sure that if I miss when some of these seeds were germinated, I did not want them to get leggy. So I just started my LED lights. I had them on for 12 hours and they took about 2 days or so when I started seeing signs of germination. By that time, that's when I removed the dome and they just started doing their thing. Now here's how they look like exactly 1 week after they germinated. As you can see, I have great results as far as germination goes. I was very happy about this. That just means that the seeds did not have any problems whatsoever germinating in any of these mediums, which it really made me happy. And I knew that that was going to be the case with Burpees, but I wasn't really sure about the rest. And to be honest, I was a little bit worried about the 4Bs because that's the one that is a little bit more rich in having a lot of textures in it. So I was a little bit worried on that. But they all look great. Again, I have been bottom watering these containers, making sure that they each get the same amount of water. And you'll see how they look here in 2 weeks. I do want to mention that once those celosia started getting up and going, because they are a lot smaller than the sunflowers, especially when they are starting to grow, they were kind of getting a little bit leggy. So what I decided to do was to help them, give them a little bump so that all of them, the sunflowers and the celosia, were at the same distance from the lights. And this is something that I do for a lot of the things that I have growing. Whenever I have a lot of different varieties of flowers or vegetables under my LED lights, I just help them, I bump them, and I use whatever I have on hand. This is how they look 2 weeks after I planted the seeds. I have not fertilized these seedlings. I normally prefer not to do that anyways, but I am going to show you, and we're going to start with the sunflowers so that I can show you some of the difference. This right here is how we started. This is Burpees. This is the one that I have been using. This is the new one. This is from Old Potters. This is Fort Bees, and this is the mix from Gardeners. Now, really quickly, you can see the difference in these containers. I am very, very surprised in how weak and little the sunflowers from Burpees look. And you might say, well, those are great results. And then if you don't have anything to compare them to, you will be happy. Like I have been happy for the last 5-6 years using this medium. But let me show you, compared to Old Potters, let me show you the difference. Look at the size of the leaves on both of them. You will think that I am giving these guys some sort of bump, or that I started them like a week earlier. Look at that. Okay, and I am going to compare these with the rest, because this is the one that I want to see how it compares to the rest. So that is why I'm going to compare it. Here is the one from Fort Bees. Look at the stalk size. Look at that. Look at those leaves. Look at the size and just how thick these guys look. And you may not be able to tell it from this video. I'm gonna try to keep them next to each other. But there is a little bit of discoloration on Burpees from Fort Bees. Here's another one. Here's the one from Gardeners. Again, just look at the size. But the size of the leaves, that's where I'm seeing a huge difference. I am honestly like really surprised. I really thought that, I knew that, you know, they're all different, and I knew that they were going to be doing great, but I did not expect the difference to be that clear. Now, one of the things that I noticed, you may not see it really well from this video. This is the one, this is Old Potters, and this is the one that I mentioned that it came ready to use out of the bag, that it had some sort of moist added to it. And that lets me to believe that's why there is a little bit of a green coating forming on top of the soil. And this is just 2 weeks, and this is from bottom watering. Again, I don't know if you can see that, but you'll see it better with the celosia. So just wanted to make that note. Here are the ones, here are the results for the celosia. And obviously the celosia is growing a lot smaller compared to the sunflowers, but you're going to see the difference. Here's the one that I'm using from Burpees, and here's the one from All Patterns. I don't know if you can tell the size, but the difference is really, really clear. These guys already have a set of true leaves growing there. And these guys from Burpees, I mean, they're barely just kind of, we're taking our time. And on this one, you can definitely see the coating, the green coating on top, which is probably why I'm skipping this one. I'm definitely not going to look into it because I do not want to have this problem. And for those people that grow seeds and start developing this right away, look into your soil, look into changing the soil that you're using, because I never had problems with Burpees with this green stuff showing up there, especially after only 2 weeks. But you can tell, this will definitely not be okay with me. Here is the one from Burpees. Again, I'm using Burpees because I do want to make sure that I compare them. Okay, these guys from Burpees are huge. And these guys have a set of true leaves already forming. And the last one is from Gardeners. From these new three Gardeners, as far as celosia and sunflowers go, is probably like my second choice that I will choose. These are not showing signs of true leaves just quite yet. They're definitely bigger. The leaves are definitely bigger and a lot nicer and healthier. So these are the results, and I am really, really happy that I did this again, because if I hadn't done this, I will never know that I will be able to get way better results than what I have been getting lately. If I had to choose from any of these, I will definitely look for All Patterns or Burpees. The only reason why I'm not going to look into All Patterns is because the green stuff developing. Gardeners, the mix that I got from Gardeners wasn't as great compared to the other two that I tried. I mean, Burpees, I know that a lot of people use them. I know that they have great results, and I'm really, really excited to try them. The only thing that I'm going to do when it comes to seed starting and soil blocking as well is that I am going to sift. I am going to get me one of those special sifters that will get the big chunks out, but it will let everything else pass. I am going to get me one of those, and I am going to just get me a huge bucket where I just do like 2 or 3 bags at a time. I really hope that this video was helpful to you. Again, I know that a lot of people do have trouble with their seedlings getting, green stuff, or just dying after they germinate, or just doing X, Y, and Z. And there is a lot of troubleshooting happening when it comes to seed starting, but maybe your lights are not the problem. Maybe the heat or the cool in your room is not the problem. Maybe look into the soil. Again, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that was helpful. If you have questions, let me know below. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next time.